I'm speaking with Barbara Lanning, co-president of the League of Women Voters in Orange County, to learn about how the organization supports equity and informed decision-making at the polls. Thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the organization?
Sure. I am currently the co-president of the League of Women Voters. We are a nonpartisan grassroots organization devoted to empowering voters and defending democracy. And we empower voters in various ways. Registration, we do advocacy, and when need be, we also have resorted to litigation.
How does the League support informed and fair voting?
Well, we have a variety of educational programs, and we also provide a platform which is very important at this time of year. It's called vote411.org, and if voters go there, they will be able to have a personalized selection of the candidates in the races that apply solely to them. And we ask all of the candidates, regardless of party, to complete a questionnaire. So what you see are the answers from the candidates. And there are a series of questions that you can read and make your decisions based on the answers that you see there. That is a super important way that we help educate. There are also available through a link on vote411.org or at our YouTube page. We have various candidate forums in which we have participated, and you can go there and watch the forum and judge the candidates for yourself. So if you want to go to our YouTube, it's LWVOC for League of Women Voters, Orange County.
Why is it important for the League to maintain a nonpartisan role?
Well, I think that has always been our stance since our founding. And I think that if you are going to empower voters, you need to come at it from a position of nonpartisanship. In other words, we are not in the business of supporting or being against any candidates. We strictly want the facts and for the voters to have the most facts, and also, to be able to judge for themselves. We're also nonpartisan in that we want everyone to vote. So you've seen us involved in redistricting this year. We just want to make sure that the districts are fairly drawn so that all voters are empowered and no voters are left behind in the process. We've worked for returning citizens through our support of Amendment 4, and we continue to do that. But we believe that everyone who is legally entitled to vote should be able to vote, and we try to facilitate that. We even have programs where, we have information for people who perhaps are having documentation problems. We have people that can help them with that. We have programs where, do you need a ride to the polls? We can even hook you up with Lyft through a program we have. So anything that you need to try and facilitate you being able to vote, we want to be there to help you and provide you with that information.
What programs and events do you host?
Oh, well, my personal favorite, and one that I know you've attended several times, is our Hot Topics. Hot Topics is a monthly public affairs forum, and as we like to say, we have the hottest of topics. So we have explored everything you can imagine. It's been around now for, I think, maybe 15 years, and we took a little hiatus during the pandemic, but now we're back live. Right now we're holding them at the Winter Park Event Center. And you can go to our website, lwvoc.org, and always see the upcoming programs. So I believe in September we'll be having a session on the pending transportation tax that we'll be voting on in the fall. And so we have all different things, sometimes a little more fun, sometimes, more historical. And it's an opportunity for people to really go deep with people that are experts in the field. And so it's a good opportunity to meet and greet people. We're very lucky. We've had many elected officials that attend, and it's an opportunity for maybe you can sit down and be at the table and talk about things that are important to you. But it definitely helps us with our education component of our mission. As I said, we've hosted or been part of a number of candidate forums, and almost all of those, even if you weren't there to see it live, again, they are available on our YouTube channel. We do tons and tons of voter registration. If you are having an event, say a neighborhood event or whatever, and you need people to come out and hold registration, we are more than happy to try and put it on our schedule. We also have a speakers bureau, which a lot of people do not realize, but we've had presentations on everything from redistricting, when there were new voting laws passed in the last couple of sessions in the legislature. We had programs on that to tell people what they needed to know about the changes. We have a lot of civics programs, and we also do education in some of the high schools. So we have a very well-rounded education program.
What are the benefits of becoming a member?
Well, I think there are a number of them. What you will see is number one, and possibly one of the things that I enjoy most are the friendships that you gain with people who are involved and engaged in the community, which is something you can't really put a dollar figure on. But obviously, I have learned so much. I always thought I majored in political science when I was in college, and I keep up with the news, and I thought I was well educated. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you what I've learned by being part of the League. You can really go deep into our government and what it does and understanding. We also have some advocacy committees. So for instance, if you're interested in the environment, we have a natural resources committee. They do all sorts of things. They participate by helping out in studies and various things. I think probably one of the things you may recall is in the last election, we do campaign sign collections so that we can recycle them. As you know, we tend to pile up those campaign signs during the election season. So this year, we'll be doing it again. We have information on our Facebook page about it that will tell you all of the drop-off points. But, getting all those signs and getting them out of a landfill is very important. We have, of course, our voter services that does a number of things, primarily the registration, but many other programs where they work with students and civic organizations. We've had gun safety, housing, and if those are areas of interest, you can really go deep and learn more and work with fellow activists.
What are the general membership fees and how are they used?
Well, our membership fees go to support our work. We share the membership fees that we charge between our National League of Women Voters, our state, and our local league. So those monies go strictly to our programs that we do, and they help support our registration programs, our litigation programs, our education programs. We have a variety of scholarships and things that we give at different levels. And right now, for students, it is $0. So we welcome students to join, and there is no cost. In general, the fee is $65, but if you can't afford that, we don't want that to stand in your way, and we can talk to you about waiving the fee so that you can participate. So it's, as I said, the money goes to support our work, because that is the only way, basically, that we have. That's the main way that we support what we do monetarily.
How can the community support your cause?
Well, we would love to have them join us, obviously, but there are other ways. If you would like to have an event where you register voters, or if we can come out and help educate people in your club or your church or whatever group, we welcome that. We obviously would be pleased to receive any donations that people might want to give through our website. But those are the primary ways. And of course, our greatest joy comes from seeing the voter turnout on election day. So if they want to support what we do, one of the greatest ways is just to go out and vote, because that's why we're here. We want everyone who can vote to vote.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers?
One of the things that's really interesting is we go quite far back. We were established here in 1939, and we have been working to help the community for all that time. It's quite funny because when they had the article in the Sentinel at the time of the establishment, they only referred to the members by their husband's name. So it wasn't Emily Bonilla at the meeting. It was Mrs. I'm sorry, I don't know your husband's name, but Mrs. Thomas will say Bonilla. And so we've seen a lot of changes through the years, even with our membership. It's becoming increasingly diverse, which we welcome, because Orlando is such a diverse community, and we want to make sure that we are working with all of those communities. But we've done things. The first projects they worked on was milk safety for children. So we've tried to contribute to the community in various ways through the year, and we'll continue to do that for, I hope, a good long time.
You mentioned some of the history. Are there any resources people can access in order to learn more?
Please come to our website. And also, we have published a book called Warriors for Democracy, which was written by one of our members, Ann Patton, who is a distinguished author, and it's a fabulous resource. I gave one to a friend who loves Orlando history, and she said just to read the history of Orlando through the eyes of a woman and what women have done here, you see a lot of things that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. So this is available. You can get it at Writer's Block on Park Avenue. We have a website, of course, lwvoc.org. And I think those are the primary ways that you would be able to learn more about us.
Are there any other ways the public can gain access to the information you have? Are you in social media?
Yes, we are. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and those would be the primary ways, and that's LWVOC. We haven't conquered TikTok yet, but we have one member who is showing real promise in that area, so stay tuned. One thing I might mention is we could use volunteers, and maybe if you are a student who needs credit, we would love to have students making TikToks for us or helping with our social media. We're trying to do a lot of student outreach, and I think that comes if we have social media from students, they can best reach their peers that way. So come on over, send us a note through the email, and we'll be happy to get back in touch with you. It's a tremendous way for students who do media or perhaps want to go into public service to get credit for their community service. And, the internships are fabulous. And it's also just a way for younger people to come in and take a leadership role that they can use to grow their skills and, to round out a resume. So I think that we offer a lot for young people, and we'd love to have them join us.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here and for all the important voter information. It's our democracy, and that's how we practice our democracy through voting. So it's very important.
Well, thank you for having us, Commissioner. We appreciate the work of all of our public servants.
If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.